Hello everyone, welcome to our Golden Talks webinar. My name is Pereira Baptista and I'm the head office of the Immigration Department at Pereira. With me, I have my colleague Cláudia Almeida Mendes, also a lawyer at the Immigration Department at Pereira, who specially focus on the Portuguese nationality applications. In order for you to get to know us a little bit better, I'll start by saying that Pereira is a multi-jurisdictional law firm that provides legal services in all areas of law, being highly recommended by the quality of its services. The firm possesses vast experience in providing legal services and legal consulting to both national and international levels. Among Pereira's clients are included both commercial and industrial companies, as well as service companies coming from all fields of activity, such as banks and other financial institutions, insurance companies, industrial companies, public entities, and other organizations, as well as private clients, of course. Also, in 2023-2024, Pereira has been once again recognized as one of the leading law firms in Portugal by Chambers and Partners and the Legal 500. Our firm was also awarded several times by different directories. So, now that you know us a little bit better and you know who we are, let's talk about the Portuguese citizenship. Portugal offers several pathways to citizenship, each designed to meet the needs of different individuals and families. These pathways often start with visas or residency permits, and after fulfilling specific requirements, they can lead to Portuguese nationality. The first and most popular Portuguese visa is, of course, and without a doubt, the Golden Visa program. Designed for investors, this program grants residency in exchange of qualifying investments, such as business investments or creating jobs. After 5 years of legal residency, applicants can apply for citizenship without needing to permanently reside in Portugal. And this is the big difference between the Golden Visa and all the other visas. We also have the D7 visa, which is the passive income visa, which is ideal to retirees and individuals who have stable passive income. So this type of visa, the D7 visa, offers residency to those who can support themselves without working in Portugal. It also leads to permanent residency or citizenship after 5 years of living in the country. We also have employment-based residency for individuals who secure a job in Portugal, the D1 and D2 visas, or for those who want to just work remotely from Portugal for a company abroad, which is the D8 visa. These individuals can obtain a work visa, which also offers a pathway to citizenship after 5 years of residency. At last, among the most popular routes, we have the family reunification. Spouses, children, or dependents of Portuguese citizens or residents can join their family members in Portugal, with the opportunity to apply for citizenship after the required residency period. These are just a few of the pathways available, which has its specific requirements and benefits, and of course timelines, but they all share one thing: the possibility to become the Portuguese citizen and to enjoy the privileges of the EU citizenship. Let's now focus on the Portuguese nationality and how to navigate all the process. I'll pass the stage to my colleague Cláudia, and please feel free to submit all your questions. We'll do our best to answer them.
Good afternoon, guys. So after this so eloquently explanation of Cátia, I will now explain a bit of the Portuguese nationality and the ways of obtaining it. It's very important to know that there's several ways of obtaining the Portuguese nationality. The ones we are talking here are the most basic or the most common ones in the Portuguese law, but we have several other options for it. So you can acquire the Portuguese nationality by being a legal resident in Portugal for at least 5 years And this is where you start the application with one of the visas that it's a possibility, or the golden visa application. You can also request a Portuguese nationality if you're the child or the grandchild of a Portuguese citizen, if you are married to a Portuguese citizen for at least 3 years, or if you have if you are in a recognized civil partnership with a Portuguese national. In this case, the 3 years is also a requirement. You can also request a Portuguese nationality if you are adopted by a Portuguese national. And at last, we have if you're a descendant of a Portuguese Sephardic Jew. This is not at the moment a very common nationality, and only because the law did change and the requirements got a bit tougher than they were before. But like I said, you have other options for the nationality application. If you want to request a Portuguese nationality through one of the visas and residency options that we have in Portugal, you have to spend 5 years. You have to be of legal age. You have to be legally residing in Portugal for at least 5 years with the residency card. You need to have at least the A2 level of Portuguese, so you need to learn a bit of Portuguese. You cannot be sentenced to prison for 3 years or more for a crime punishable in Portugal, because there are countries that some crimes in those countries are not recognized here in Portugal. If you have this on your criminal record, you can still submit for the Portuguese nationality. And you cannot have been involved in terroristic activities. We have had a very big change on the Portuguese nationality, and this change was mainly about when do you start being a legal resident in Portugal. Before the law changed, the period that the person started being a legal resident in Portugal was from the time that the client had the first card issued. So from the card issuance, you count 5 years. As of now, and this is a very big law change, as of now, the 5 years start counting from the moment that the person submits the residency card and granted that residency card is issued. So let's say that the immigration office, the client submits the application in 2024, and for some reason, the immigration office only gives a card to the client in 2025. So before, the year that the client did not have a card would be lost. Nothing would happen. As of now, with this law change, the time that the person is waiting for a card to be received also counts for the 5 years. So this is very important, because instead of having to renew the card several times to do the 5 years, everything counts now, and this is very important. Apart from the 5 years of residency, you can apply for Portuguese nationality if you're the daughter or the granddaughter or grandson of a Portuguese citizen. If you're the direct descendant of a Portuguese citizen, the requirements is you need to have been born abroad. You had to have a Portuguese parent. It can be one or the other. It's not necessary that both of them are. And you need to declare, or you have to declare to our registry that you want to be a Portuguese national. These are the requirements for that. If you are the grandson or granddaughter of a Portuguese citizen, then the requirements are the same. But what you will need is to have a connection to the Portuguese community. So you need to have been born abroad. You have to have a grandparent that it's an original Portuguese citizen. So they were born Portuguese and they did not lose the Portuguese nationality at any moment, you need to declare that you want to be a Portuguese citizen and then have the connection to Portugal. This connection normally is made through the language. So you need to learn the Portuguese language, the A2 level of Portuguese, and the A level is the most basic one. So it's very basic Portuguese in order to submit for this application. Obviously, that if you have you've traveled to Portugal, you can show that you have a connection to Portugal, that will make your application a lot stronger. But the connection is proved by the language know-how. If you have been married to a Portuguese citizen, or you have a civil partnership with the Portuguese citizen that is recognized in our courts and in our country, you can also request a Portuguese nationality. You have to have been married for at least 3 years. The marriage must be registered in Portugal, and you need to prove a connection to Portugal. This connection is always made by the A2 level of Portuguese. If you are in a civil partnership, like I said, you need to have the relationship recognized by our courts and also have the A2 level of Portuguese. But you do not have to be married to request a Portuguese nationality. If you are, like this slide states, you cannot request a Portuguese nationality if you have been sentenced to imprisonment for 3 years or more for a crime punishable in Portugal. So let's say if the client by some reason has something on his or her criminal record, we analyze the criminal record. We analyze it under the Portuguese law to see if the penalty here in Portugal would be less than 3 years. If it's less than 3 years, then no problem. The person can still apply for the Portuguese nationality, but we always do that analysis first. You cannot hold a public position in other countries. So in this case, you cannot be like a prime minister or a minister in another country and then come request a Portuguese nationality. But this is very case by case, and we analyze everything before submitting the application. You cannot have performed non-compulsory military service in other countries, and you cannot have been involved in terroristic activities as stated here. It's not difficult to understand why you should choose Portugal. We're a very welcoming country in terms of foreign citizens. We are considered the third safest country in the world and the safest country in Europe. We have been considered the best country to live, reside, or visit. We have affordable healthcare, and that's very important for some people. We have freedom of expression, religion, sexual, racial, and gender equality. Strong connections with very important international organizations, such as NATO. We have 7 of our universities among the best in the world. We have been in the top 10 of the best European cities in Europe to invest in real estate or real estate and other things. And we have a very rich country in history and heritage. And the food also helps, and the sun also helps, because although we're 2 weeks until Christmas and the end of the year, we still have sun in Portugal, and it's winter, but it's not so rough. So there's a lot of reasons to be in Portugal and to request a Portuguese nationality. You will, if your application is successful, you will be able to travel around the Schengen area. You'll be able to work in any country in the Schengen area. You'll be able to live in the Schengen area and have access to all of the benefits of being a Portuguese citizen. If you have children, they can study in any country in the Schengen area, and that's very important. It's no-brainer. It's a no-brainer why you should choose Portugal and not other countries. We have.
So, I'm sorry to cut you off, Cláudia. Thank you so much for your explanation. And of course, we always are suspicious to talk about Portugal and the food, but you all should try it because it's worth it. I just wanted to inform how the process is going on these situations. We have, for example, here a client of ours, Mr. Matthew Sola, who is asking about the visa application, which was a golden visa, and of course the timelines for existing applications. So, like I said before, and like my colleague explained, this path to citizenship by the conception of visas, not by descendants or marriage, were very, very delayed. So, for example, Mr. Sola only applied in October 2023. So it's very early. I know it's been a year, but it's very early in the application to have any news because unfortunately, these types of application, the golden visa application, is taking at least 2 years from start to end. And you say, oh, it's taking so long, so why should I apply? Precisely because of what Cláudia explained. We had a backlog so huge on the processing of visas that our state had the need to change the law. And now this time for the application on the citizenship through residency, so through a visa, the time now starts counting. In this case, for example, in October 2023. So let's say the visa takes 5 years. We hope not, but let's say the visa takes 5 years. After the client receives the card, he is eligible to apply for citizenship. So if the client receives a card in September, for example, and it makes the 5 years in October, he can apply after only 1 month of having the card. And this only applies to visas and to nationality, okay? This does not apply to permanent residency because the law was only changed on the citizenship matters. So that's why we had this change. And that's why we still find attractive to invest in a golden visa or a D7 or D8, whatever the client needs, because even if it's taking a little bit longer than it should, this time is not wasted, okay? For the other visas, for example, D7s and D8s and D1s, the processing time, it's normally around 4 to 6 months to have the first appointment and have all the documents in order and have the first visa stamped on the passport to come to Portugal. Afterwards, you need to come here in Portugal to appointment. That's a different issue, but at least you will be here and working or whatever it is your intention. So I just wanted to make this this point known because, like I said, it's very delayed, but still we created a mean to not be so much, don't have this time to waste to our clients and of course the ones that are waiting for so long. And that's, we don't know if this is going to be for 1 year or 2 years, but at least until the end of the backlog, which is huge, we hope this law now stays in order. I'm so sorry, Cláudia. Please go on.
Just to finish up, we have our contacts here. We have an office here in Lisbon. Me and Cátia are in the office in Lisbon, very central in the city center. We also have an office in Porto, the second biggest city in the world, in the country, and we also have it in the beautiful Algarve. So you also have our emails here, and each of the emails of the offices that you might want to contact if you have any other doubts. If you have any other questions, or if any of our slides raise any questions to you, please feel free to use these minutes to put those questions in our chat, and we will respond. If not, please feel free to contact us if you have any doubt, if you wish to discuss and have a meeting with us, and we will be very happy to assist you with any questions that you might have relating the applications. Someone is writing, so we'll just wait a bit. Yes, the clock starts when you apply for the golden visa. As soon as you pay for the analysis fee of the immigration office, you start counting the 5 years. You'll need to have a residency card issued. So the time that you don't see any movement from the immigration office, that time still counts for the nationality application. And I can give you a very not a personal example, but with my clients, personal clients, they had to wait during COVID, so nothing happened during COVID. They received their residency cards last year, but because they started the process in 2020 or 2019, they will be able to apply for the Portuguese nationality in the beginning of 2025. So everything, and if before the nationality law changed, they would only start counting the 5 years from their first residency card, so 2023, and nothing from back then would count. But as of now, everything counts, and they are now eligible for the nationality, and we are moving ahead with that instead of the renewal of the residency cards to continue for 2 more years. So yes, it starts counting from the application of the golden visa. And thank you so much for your question. We have another question.
So first, the question of Don, if the investment was discussed. We did not discuss in this session the types of investment, but very, very quickly you have the 500,000 euros in venture capital funds, 500,000 euros in the capitalization of an existing company, creating at least 10 jobs, investing in, it's not investing, it's like a donation to Portuguese cultural heritage, and this amount is 250,000 euros. And you have the last one, which is invest in technology or some of sort, 500,000 euros as well. So these are the investments that are now available. If you wish to have more information, please contact us on the information that it's on screen. So the next question is regarding the nationality, so I'll pass it to Cláudia.
So what's the time frame for nationality through marriage? So the first step to get this nationality is having the marriage registered in Portugal. Because some clients have been married in other countries, the first step is register their marriage here in the country. So it shows on the Portuguese, on our registry and in the birth certificate of the Portuguese citizen that he's married here in Portugal. So that's the first step. From the moment that we submit the application of nationality until we get the approval, it's taking around 2 years. We have been expecting it to go lower because now the government has created a new platform that where the documentation is analyzed through a computer, and only later, and only if the process is done correctly and nothing needs to change, will the process move forward to a physical person. So everything now is done online until the final approval. And this we are seeing that it's taking a long time from the applications that we already have on analysis, okay? So as of now, it's taking around 2 years, but we expect that it will take less in the future as the registry continues to use this platform, as this platform continues to be improved. So this is it at the moment.
So regarding the state requirements for D7, they are the same as every visa, okay? 6 months in a row or 8 months interpolated, which means you can come and go, but in the end of the year, you need to spend 8 months at least in Portugal. If you do that in a row, it's the minimum 6 months. Okay, so this is the big difference between the golden visa and all the other visas. The golden visa, you only need to stay 7 days a year in Portugal, or 14 per card, which are 2 years cards. And the other visas, you actually need to live for at least half of your year here in Portugal. So the minimum requirements, 6 months in a row, 7 months interpolated. So if anyone does have another question, please submit it now, please. It doesn't seem like that. So I hope that this session was helpful. You can find us in the contacts that are on screen, so feel free to reach out to us if you have any query regarding your application or anything that you wish to be clarified. I really hope that you all have a great holiday season and everything goes according to your plans. From our side, this is everything. I hope you enjoyed it.